Goten! Okay!
What the fuck?!
Dragon Ball Xenoverse is a 3D Tenkaichi style fighter developed by DIMPS, or as you guys might know them, the developers of the original Budokai series. Available on Xbox One, PS4, and Steam, as well as the previous gen 360 and PS3, Xenoverse is the first Dragon Ball game to release on the aka NextGen 8th generation consoles. In this game, you take on the role of a hero called forth from the Dragon Balls by Time Patroller Trunks. The evil antagonists in this game, Mira and Toa, have maliciously altered the events of the Dragon Ball Z timeline, and it's up to you to fix things. With that being said, if we're going to fix things, we might as well do it in style. DIMPS gives you the ability to create your own custom created character during the beginning of the game for you to take on your adventure. You're able to choose from 5 different races of the Dragon Ball universe: Saiyans, Namekians, Earthlings, Majins, and Frieza's race. Dropped into the hub world Toki Toki City, you are taken back in time in order to complete the main story missions, which involve fighting notorious enemies and the timeline errors. In between story missions, you must complete mini quests dubbed parallel quests in order to help level your characters so they can actually compete with the enemies in the main missions. Personally, I really enjoyed the story mode of this game, straying away from the usual dusty sagas we played nearly a million times. It was really creative and felt kind of like a bunch of what if battle scenarios. It was especially cool seeing my created characters jump in and help the Dragon Ball Z characters with the infamous battles that we all know and love. Xenoverse plays most like the previous 3D Dragon Ball fighters like Raging Blast in the Tenkaichi series, while also taking a few good mechanics from the previous game Battle of Z. So the gameplay you play is set in like full 3D destructible environments with enough room for like a lot of enemies. When I say that, even in story missions you might be doing like 6 versus 1, or that's probably the most I've seen, 7 or 8 versus 1 when there's like 8 computers versus you. The combat system is kind of awesome in my opinion because it's actually balanced out. All your abilities rely on either Kai or stamina, and battling can get insanely fast paced at times. The main way to fight and get around in the game is flight, so you'll be flying the majority of the time you're battling or transitioning between areas in a mission. But the only time you're stuck on the ground is when you're traversing across Toki Toki City. Speaking of Toki Toki, while you're there, you can basically recuperate from all your missions that you've been on, and there are 3 different sections of the city. There's the online/offline quest gathering section. There's a main story section that takes you into the time room, and there's a shopping district where you can buy various items such as skills, clothing items, and accessories for your created character. Online play/multiplayer in Xenoverse seamlessly integrates itself into your gaming experience. After you select your created character, you have the option of whether or not you want to be placed into a single lobby or a multi-lobby, which is like full of random other players you can interact with MMO style. When it comes to battling online, you can be player versus player battles PvP or player versus everyone battles PvE, which is like parallel quests. In online battling, you have 3 game mode options: player battles, which consist of 1v1s through 3v3s, endless battle with friends, and then you have ranked battles. In parallel quests, you team up with 3 of your friends or random players and take on the game's list of parallel quests, which are just like mini missions that you use to rank up and gather skills and materials and other stuff like that. I don't really care much for online rank because this game is not really optimized for competitive play, and there's so much cheap stuff in the online version. And the goal of the online multiplayer, I would have to say, goes to the 3v3 player battles. I mean, I would just say they're crazy fun in this. The best fun I've had in like, well, I can't say the best fun, but the most fun I've had in a DBZ game online in like forever. Character dialogue between your created character and the other DBZ characters was so entertaining to me, and it was just hilarious. It added so much to the immersion of the universe by the way they interacted with you. Like, suppose I was using my Frieza created character, Vegeta would say, "Oh, you're Frieza race, I'll destroy all of you," because you know Vegeta has a grudge against Frieza and his race for destroying his home planet Vegeta. And there's other interactions with different characters that there's just so many interactions that I can't really list them all. The mentor system, where you could train under different characters in order to learn their most powerful moves, was so awesome. I mean, since I was a Frieza race, I definitely kind of leaned over towards Frieza in terms of finding a trainer. So I trained under Frieza. I learned the Supernova, and I learned the Death Beam, and I learned like the Death Destructo Disc, or I don't know I forget what it's called, but it was pretty awesome to learn some of Frieza's moves knowing that I was a Frieza race. The one thing that shocked me about this game is that the game wasn't too easy. Now I hate when games are too easy and they basically fly you past the story mode between a short period of time. Like, there was no choosing difficulty, it was just one set difficulty, and I liked the difficulty that they had because Xenoverse kicked your ass enough to where you knew you had to go back and level up your character. So you would think you could take on the next story mission without going to do some parallel quests and level up your character, but you would get your ass kicked if you went in that story mode and tried to fight enemies a higher level than you. So I definitely like the difficulty of this game. The AI support characters in this game were completely useless. If there was one thing I hated about the support that they gave you in this game, is that you would be fighting in a story mission or something and some ally would come in to help you, and they were completely useless. I'll use this time as an example. I was fighting Bill and Whis 2v1 basically because I had Trunks helping me as a comrade. So Trunks, basically the only thing he did was distract Whis enough to where I had to fight Beerus. But after Trunks got his ass beaten, literally like 20 to 30 seconds after the match started, he was useless against Bill and Beerus and Whis. So they really need to kind of smarten the AI and actually make them help you instead of just standing by for distractions, because it was basically a 2v1 battle after Trunks died, and that's what makes the mission kind of really hard for no apparent reason. Because if you're gonna give me an AI, at least make them useful. Higher level AI in this game are known for spamming attacks and skills over and over again to the point where you can't even move. I mean, I was facing the Goku family, Goku, Gohan, and Goten before, and they literally just spam Kamehameha the whole time to where once you got finished getting hit by one, you were automatically in the other one, and literally you had to take on 3 of them versus 1 of you, and you basically could not get out of the Kamehamehas. Now, I don't know if this was just to make up the difficulty, but I would at least like to have them do combos on me rather than just every 5 seconds spam their special attacks, which were pretty powerful. But in the end, I ended up beating it, but I had to like actually spam them back because that's all they were doing. The last 2 things I had to add to some of my dislikes are the stiffness of the blocking mechanic. I mean, blocking is supposed to be fluent with the combat. I mean, you're supposed to be able to block the minute you think you have to block, because blocking is really a high level skill. Like, it can be a high level skill when you learn to master it completely, but it just seems like the block in this game is basically it's not meant to be taken seriously. Like, I mean, you press the block button, but you can't really block in the middle of combos. You have to really like stop everything you're doing and then block. I really wish they would fix that, because there's times when I've been getting spammed by key attacks and I can't even block in the middle of the key attacks because the block takes so long to actually go through. Bottom line, pick up Xenoverse if you love DBZ games. It is literally the best DBZ game I've played in a long time. And I really think they should continue with this formula that they took on with Xenoverse, because I think it's just excellent. It provides so much fun. That's really it for the review, guys. If this review was helpful, leave a like. Subscribe to join the Real Ninja Nation for more Naruto and DBZ content. And thank you guys for watching. Peace out.
Anyone who wants to die, come attack me.
Okay.